like I never left. I'm right back. BESALT.
All right, everybody. Like we have already announced, the Heroes of the Bible Project, we have announced it fully. It's on the way. But I just wanted to get a little bit more context, give y'all a little bit more context behind the heart of the project, behind the collection. And here with me is our lead designer, Lloyd Briggery, and it's Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, brother. Hey, thank you. Glad to have you. Yeah. But, you know, I just want to get with you today and kind of get your heart behind it, you know, because a lot of people don't know. They don't know. This was actually your idea, right? The Lord downloaded that into your heart, and then you came to me and like, hey, man, let's make this happen. Yeah. So if you don't mind, just kind of sharing your heart behind it and behind the Heroes of the Bible Project.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, man. Hey, thank you for that Veterans Day shouts out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. We all soldiers now in the Army of the Lord.
Yes,
right? So, yeah, absolutely. So the thing about Heroes from the Bible, I come to the art world as a comic book fan, right? Like I always had an ability to draw, and before I discovered comic books, I was drawing animals and plants and stuff, just whatever was around. But when I was 8 years old, I opened my first comic book, and I was like, oh yeah, this right here. Like I knew in that moment, like I knew I probably shouldn't have been looking at that particular comic book, but I also knew like whatever this is, I got to do it, right? Yeah. And so coming to comics as a fan, you know, like, and growing up in church, you know, you read the Bible all the time. And so like I'm reading the Bible, I'm reading comic books, reading the Bible, reading the comic books. And a lot of times where I grew up, it was just, it was an old Baptist church, you know what I mean? So you weren't getting like into the real deep things in the Bible, particularly in the Old Testament. Yeah. But as I got older, around college, I started reading that stuff for myself. Yeah. And, you know, you find out, like, you've heard of, like, 300 with the Spartans, right? But then you read Gideon, his 300, right? 300, and you're like, wait a minute.
Bro,
you know
I remember the first time, sorry to cut you off. I remember the first time that I read that, and I'm like, hold on, is this the same 300 that I watched? I mean, of course it wasn't, but, you know, it was a crazy coincidence.
Yeah,
you know?
You're like, is it though? Yeah. You know, like, were they? Okay, so, and so when I'm reading the Bible, man, even for example, man, like where we get the Daniel fast from, right? Like when Daniel's praying, the angel finally got to him in 21 days, and the angel tells him, "Hey, God sent me with your answer, but I was on my way, and then I had to get in this fight with the spirit of Persia for 21 days, and then Michael came and relieved me, and now I'm here with this amazing prophecy, right? Yeah. So like when I'm hearing that, you know, people skip to that prophecy because it's great, but I'm like, did he just say he fought a demon for 21 days? You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's not skip over that, bro. Real quick.
Like, can we go back to that part?
For sure.
So I'm seeing it as, you know, in my mind, like I see the comic book version of this, right? Like that's just how my mind was working. Yeah. And so then you put that next to, at the time growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, like whatever like Christian entertainment was. Yeah. Not for nothing. It was good for its purpose, but I always felt like its purpose was for Christians already, right? And like we need that, right? Yeah. Like we need that kind of outlet, especially for the kids, right? It's safe. But non-Christians ain't really gonna be attracted to it. Particularly, I mean, they already are not like they don't want to hear the message, but even the craft of it, it was just a little corny. You know? Yeah. And so I always said, if I ever got the chance, I would want to do Christian content, but for the non-believer. Yeah. So instead of coming at it as a essentially Christian creator, I wanted to come at it as a creator who was a Christian. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sure, the craft and not just relying on the message. Like the message is a message, right? Like the gospel doesn't need anyone to defend it. It is the truth, right? But coming at it like taking that craft to a level of professionalism that's comparable with anything you might see on the shelves, right? And then I could put my heroes up there, right? And so that's just the idea that's been boiling and coming together for decades, really. And after we met, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I don't know if you remember the very first time I was like, yo, man, let me holler at you. You see you got the clothing?
After the first, be one, make one. Discipleship.
And then I was like, yo, man, let me holler at you. You got this clothing, let me show you what I can. You know what I'm saying? That, So, it was just like anytime I've, you know, even had the opportunity to come close to bringing it to life, and it was a perfect fit. You know? So,
That's good. So from that, you know, that upbringing that you came up with, having that desire in your heart to, hey, man, let's get some of this corny stuff out the way. Like, let's kind of evolve this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Birth, ultimately the Heroes of the Bible Project.
Of course, absolutely.
So I know when you came to me with it, you already kind of had some like Esther, Gideon, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So tell me why you picked those two. Like were like your very first initial.
Right. So always the book of Judges fascinates me.
Yeah.
I am fascinated by the book of Judges.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have more to follow.
Yes, sir.
On that in 2026, right?
Come on, big man, get us through. Come on. Yes, sir.
But there is this running idea that the Bible is like a man only kind of situation, but it's not. I mean, all you gotta do is read it and you will see, just throughout the pages, it's very much equal opportunity for everything.
Yeah.
And what with Esther, the thing about Esther is that if you go back and read those scriptures, it really emphasizes that everyone she came in contact with was essentially captivated by her, right? And not in a lustful way, like people wanted to believe in her, right? And so it was like God used her beauty, like her natural gifts, for His glory.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Amen.
And that's. I think it embodies a certain type of feminine strength, right? Where it's like, yeah, man, like I love, I mean, you think about the book of Judges and Deborah, and then how Jael ultimately is the one who kills the enemy, right? But with Esther, it's a different kind of strength. There's power in her grace, and I wanted to make sure we told it all, right? And that's the thing I do love about, particularly in the Old Testament, but the Bible as a whole, like. It doesn't pull any punches about everything. It tells you the good, it tells you the bad, it tells you the embarrassing. So it's like they kept it so real. I wanted to like take my shot at bringing that to life.
Yeah.
And then with Gideon, man, just back to that 300, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, but bro, there's so many there's 13 judges. You know what I'm saying? Like they all got
a story.
Yeah, like comparable to like David and his mighty men. They all got stories too. So. I'm interested in bringing all of that to life.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's awesome, brother.
Yes, sir.
Well, look, man, I just want to say thank you, first and foremost, for your brotherhood, for your friendship, man. And then thank you for coming along to BESALT, man, and bringing your talents that God has given you to bring this thing to life, brother. So I've already seen some of the pieces, some of the work.
Yes,
I'm excited for the world to see, you know what I mean? But it's coming soon. But thank you for that time, brother. And that is a little bit behind Heroes of the Bible.
That's it.
All right, man. We back again with Brigg, my brother Lloyd, man. Thank you for being here again, brother.
Yes, sir.
So we already kind of got into it already, but just want to go deeper with you.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, man, about the first time us meeting. You know what I'm saying? And the first time we met, where was it? What were your thoughts? What were your first impressions of me? And then I'll give my first impressions of you, and then, we'll go into some more stuff. But yeah, man, tell me about that. Let's let the people know how we met, bro. What that was like. Yeah.
Well, I'll take it back just a little bit and bring us right to that moment.
Yes, sir.
The reason I moved down to North Carolina was to start my art business. And I actually hadn't planned on staying in North Carolina specifically. I was maybe going to touch base here and then move somewhere else. Because all I need is an internet connection, really, and someplace warm. But, I got family here, so... but I got here and heard about Vision and their charge to glorify God and make disciples.
Yes, sir.
I was going through a bit of a downswing in my life at the time. I was coming from New York, New Jersey, and I've been up there for since 2008. So about 15, 16 years, so that was home. So just leaving there, grieving that a little bit, and shifting gears. And so, I hear about this church that makes disciples. So I started coming, albeit sporadically, but I grabbed...
Same, bro. I was there.
You know what I'm saying? But one Sunday, when I was rushing out after they dismissed us, because I didn't want to talk to nobody, I did grab a random pastor who just so happened to be Pastor Pedro. Wow. And I was like, hey, what's this Make Disciples thing y'all got going on? And he was like, oh, we got a thing called Be One, Make One. It's a discipleship program. And I was like, when? Tell me when. And he was like, oh, in about 8 months. And I was like,
wow.
I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, is what I don't remember. I think they were just getting it off the ground or whatever. Anyway, long story short, 8 months later, when I heard that it was happening, I immediately signed up for it, like not fully knowing what it was really gonna be.
Yeah.
And that first Monday, I walk in and they got the chairs set up.
Yes,
And so, the fellas start, taking their spots. I remember when you came in because you had your mohawk and your locks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I should have my locks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
for
had
sure.
your locks. But I could tell, because I had a 14-year career in the fitness industry, but I was like, that guy's a football player.
Yeah.
Like, immediately. I was like, he's a football player,
Yeah.
But in that group, I don't know if you remember, but it was a lot of guys who played basketball in that group.
Yep.
And that first night, we do our testimonies, or whatever it is. We do a quick little intro in our testimony. And everybody was basketball, basketball. All right, cool. I mean,
you some of us, basketball too, though.
Some of us played overseas for a little bit, but not to, but you don't want to be that guy in the group that's like, oh, but y'all did this, I did that.
Yeah.
I kind of shied away from that. I used to hoop too. But then when it came to you, and you start talking about football and going to Elon and everything, and I was like, I knew that joker was a football player, man. I knew it, right?
Yes, sir.
But I do remember this. When you spoke, there was this calm about you and this confidence that you had about what the Lord had done in your life, in your testimony. And I was like, I don't know what it is. I know what it is, but it was like, I don't know what it is, but I like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all the guys were cool. You know what I'm saying? We still cool with a lot of those dudes.
Yeah.
But with you, I was like...
Hold on, brother. Make sure you're talking to the mic now so the people can hear you. No, you good. You good. Yeah, you good.
No, but I was like, I like this guy. I don't know what it is about. I don't know him that well, but I like him.
Yeah.
And as we began to, like, keep coming back to that discipleship program, then, like, really seeing what it's really about. Like,
exactly.
Guys, like, just... airing it out in the circle, man.
Getting real.
Encouraging one another. Yeah. And everybody had their ups, everybody had their downs, but everybody was able to encourage everyone else.
Yeah.
And the more I learned about you, I was just like, he's cool, man. Yeah. But then to find out, like, I remember you shared, like, you were doing hip hop and like you got the clothing company and everything. Yeah. I was like, there it is. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So man. And then, the rest is like, I wanted to show you, like, hey man, I can draw. Yeah. Maybe someday I can put my stuff on your clothes and we can do something. And
definitely.
that was like what, a year, 2 years ago? Like
about
a year and a half?
2 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
It was about 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, 2 years, bro. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was the start of it, right?
That was the start.
That's crazy,
Be
brother.
one, make one.
Be one, make one, man.
Yeah, what was that? Like 4 sessions ago.
Yeah. That was that was your first Be One Make One session.
That was my first Be One Make One session too.
That was good.
Yeah.
And then we had another one together.
Yep.
And now we're leaders. Of the cohort, man.
That's
of our own
right.
cohorts. That's awesome, bro.
Yep.
Look how God moves.
Hey, he does disciple us.
Yes, he does.
It works.
Still being discipled while we discipling. It's amazing, brother.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man. Yeah, I mean, I would say the story is kind of similar.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, that's when we first met.
Yeah.
That was my second Be One Make One group.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember I walked in, and I remember, bro, you ain't got them on tonight, but you had on your boots, bro. You had your boots on. You had on, like, bro, I could have swore I was like, bro got his fatigue pants on or something, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You had your combat boots on, brother.
Oh,
you had your pants on, man. But I knew then, I was like, oh, that's a military, bro.
Yeah.
I already knew. My dad being in the military and stuff.
Facts.
We got a lot of veterans in the church, too.
Yeah.
But as we continue to share and stuff like that, like you were saying, getting to know you more in your testimony, brother, you was just so transparent and real.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, I'm here. This is what God has done. This is what he's doing, and this is where I want to be. And I really admired that, you just being transparent about that. You know what I mean? So that was good. And then we did have that conversation about, hey, man, I do art.
Yeah.
And people are like, man, I draw, I do these things. It's like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, let's see. You know what I mean? Just being real.
I get that all the time.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
People like, okay.
I mean, I get it too as making music. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, you rap. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then you showed me your portfolio.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, brother. No, you like actually do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we get to know each other more, and it's like, yeah, I do Comic-Con, I do these things, this and that. And I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, you really like that, So I remember us having that conversation of, hey, man, we need to do something together. Like I draw it, put it on BESALT, and we just do something.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like you said, 2 years later, we're doing exactly that, bro.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, man. And from there, man, that was just the beginning of a beautiful brotherhood and friendship, dog. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good, man. All right, brother. Let's get to it, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Like we said, we met in the B1 Make One Foundation.
Yes, sir.
And one of the first things we talk about when we're doing that on the first few days is our 15-second testimony.
Yes.
Right? So I don't want you to give 15 seconds today, right? You got a little bit more time. Yeah. I don't even think you did that day. You know what I'm saying? None of us did.
Yeah.
But I would love for you to share your testimony, man.
Cool, man.
You know what I mean? Let us know where you were when you met Christ.
Yeah.
And, life after, man. So,
Yeah. Absolutely. So growing up, man, in Goldsboro, North Carolina, shout out to Goldsboro. I grew up in church. My mother was in the choir. My grandmother was the minister of music at our church. So pipe organ, robes every Sunday, choir rehearsal every Tuesday night. I have grown up in church. I've been in church my whole life. Yeah. But has the Lord been in me my whole life? Not so much. I wasn't like a bad kid. I was the only child raised by my mother and my grandma. But like just being around adults all the time, you kind of learn how to put on, the right behavior. Yeah. And like I said, I wasn't like a bad kid. I was kind of energetic and maybe a little mischievous, but I wasn't in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Goldsboro's too small to be like troublesome. Yeah.
Everybody know everybody.
Yeah, and everybody knows my family. So like I couldn't get away with it even if I was.
Right.
But not to say I was a saint, but just growing up, I needed to establish who I was as a person apart from my family, and that's where I found sports. And I was always into the arts, playing the piano and drawing and reading comics and stuff.
Can you still play the piano, bro?
I do.
That's crazy.
I do. This is like the only church I've been in where I don't play.
Really?
It is, but it's fine. We got a good band.
Yeah,
like,
we good. We good.
I'm
Fun
good.
fact though, that's nice.
But like I don't. But I also don't play the keyboard. Like I play the piano. You know what I'm saying? And like churches kind of evolved. Yeah. So even if there was a spot, like ain't nobody trying to, and that's fine. I play my piano at the house. I'm good to go.
That's awesome, brother. Yeah.
But I needed to establish myself away from my family, and that's where I found sports, like basketball in particular. And I had opportunity to take basketball scholarships to go to college, but sitting down with my family, we're looking at like options for the future. And back then too, you're talking about the late 90s, like. Back then, it was understood, like, if you could get an athletic scholarship, but you're one injury away from, like, your whole education being lost to you, right?
I get it.
There was no NIL, no transfer portal or anything. It was like, this is your shot, but, like, there's so much riding on that shot. We thought it was risky. It was cool that I was getting the offers, but still a risk. Yeah. So we found another scholarship in the Army ROTC scholarship, to where, like, they just got you covered, and they'll pay you to go to school, and you get commissioned. You get a job immediately when you graduate.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So it was like, since I was already getting recruited, I was confident I could go to a school on an academic scholarship and then walk on. Yeah. Right? Because I was like, I'm getting recruited. I got the skill set. Yeah. Whatever.
And to be clear, walk on to play basketball.
Walk on to play basketball, right? And so that's what I did. I took the Army scholarship, went to Hampton University, walked on. Walk on life is different than scholarship life. You're a scholarship athlete. I'm grateful for it, but I went in completely blind. That's a whole other episode. Yeah. We don't got to get into it now, but suffice to say, it is hard.
The difference between scholarship athletes and then walk-on athletes in university.
And unpaid labor. Woo! Yeah. No investment, they don't care if you succeed.
And you got to prove yourself on a different type of level.
You do. That part I don't mind. I'm a little feisty. You know what I'm saying? But then there's no reward though, So, but my teammates, we cool. Yeah. But moving on, man, the first semester of my senior year, 9/11 happened. Wow. So like being in the Army Reserves at the time, we kind of knew, man, like I'm graduating in like 8 months, man. Like I know where I'm headed, right? And so, we had to kind of take it to a different level with our training. And as soon as I touched ground, man, in the Army, I was a tanker. So I went to tank school. And as soon as I graduated from there, man, I was off to Germany. And a year later, I was in Iraq, Wow. So, it happened fast. Yeah. But the reason I wanted to be a tanker was because I felt like I had the personality to be a combat guy. I just ain't like the idea of getting shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where can
put
I
a hunk of metal between me and the bullets. Yeah.
Where can I be safe and still do some damage? Put me in a tank. I'll do it. You know, take my
Smart
money.
move, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, and all things considered, I had a decent run.
Yeah.
I spent 2 years in Iraq. I lost some friends, some close people to me, and really by the grace of God. My second tour was really dangerous, really violent, and I did not expect to make it back. My very first patrol on that second tour, we were 5 minutes out from our base, meaning like if you were on the guard tower at our base, you could still visually see us without binoculars. Like we were that close to the base.
Yeah.
And this explosion went off between my vehicle and the vehicle in front of me. And the explosion was so big, we thought they had got erased, but they thought we had got erased.
Wow.
But it was right in between us, right?
Oh, wow.
Bro, and in my mind, all I'm thinking is they put a bomb here this big in eyesight
That's what I'm saying.
of the gate. I was like, okay, it was very different than my first tour. I didn't get off my tank the first tour. You know what I mean? So I didn't interact with people at all, apart from being on the tank. You know what I'm saying? This tour, man, I'm in Humvees, and like every time we went on a Humvee, we got attacked, you know? So it's just like, okay, this is crazy. So in that moment, though, I just remember thinking like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like odds too, right? The longer you're in a dangerous place, it's somebody.
Like you keep rolling that dice, man.
You are, and like we're at war. Like this is part of war.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, long story short, they flew me out of Iraq on September 11th, 2007.
Wow.
And that night, so on my base, I was in a place called Ramadi. And so people who know about the war know about Ramadi, right? It's where they make all the movies from Iraq war now because it was that dangerous. But at the time, you couldn't fly in or out of Ramadi during the daytime because you would get shot down. So you had to fly at night. And so it's nighttime. It's September 11th. And I'm like, this is it. Like, I've gotten this far.
Yeah,
I'm going to get shot out the sky on 9/11. Like, of course, this is...
Goodness gracious,
so
bro.
I got in that little Chinook, that Airbus, and I went to sleep because I was like...
If it's going to happen, at least I'm going to be slumped.
I ain't going to be stressed about it, man. So we landed in Kuwait, and my battle buddy, like, tapped me on the knee. We were sitting across from each other, and he was like, hey, sir, we're here. And I was like, where? I'm thinking, we the pearly gates, we here, you know? Nah. He said, no, we in Kuwait. I was like, and I reached over, I shook his hand, you know, like we kind of dapped up. And I remember getting out thinking like I had not planned for my life to go beyond this moment. So it's just like, okay, well.
Now I got it.
I figured something out. I figured something out. It would be a year later. I got out the Army and decided to move to Brooklyn so I could eventually get to this art school in New Jersey. And when I got to Brooklyn, it was about a year later, and in that year, I had gotten engaged, and then the engagement fell through. I was in a deep depression. And what I didn't know is I had PTSD, severe PTSD.
Yeah.
I had gone through all kinds of rage fits and stuff. And I was living in Brooklyn. And I remember I had some friends that I had grown up with that were living in Manhattan. And they were like, yo, let's meet at this bar in downtown Brooklyn. Like, we'll show you a good time.
Yeah.
We'll meet there for happy hour. I was like, cool. Happy hour. I get there 4 o'clock. It's like my second week in Brooklyn, right? Yeah. I get there 4 o'clock. You know, it's happy hour, man. I got a whole captain's salary in the checking account because I was at war.
Yeah.
For a year. I'm like, all right, let's see what we're going to do here.
Time to cut loose.
Time to cut loose, bro. And so I start.
Yeah.
And I keep going. And I keep going. Bruh, I stayed at happy. The theme at happy hour was the tiki bar. So lots of palm trees, and the waiting staff was dressed a certain type of way. It was still hot in New York. It was late September, so it was still hot.
Yeah.
Bruh, people started leaving. I'm still
knocking them back.
Kicking back hard. Bruh, at some point, the wait staff changed clothes, and they took all the bamboo furniture out and brought out white leather and black tables. And they changed the DJ. Bro, it was 10 p.m.
They getting ready for the late night.
I'm still at the bar. The only idiot still there. So I was at happy hour for 6 hours, bro. My friends got there about 10, 15.
Hold on. They told you happy hour, though.
They said happy hour. This Goldsboro, though. Goldsboro, New York. Right?
That's hilarious. Yeah.
So they show up 6 hours later, but I am toast.
Yeah.
I must have spent close to $300. Keep in mind, happy hour, everything's half off.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as they walked in the door, they were like, yo, what's up? And I remember looking at them, I was like, I hate y'all. That's what I said, man. Everybody got a good laugh out of it. And then I walked out. I was like, I'm not hanging out with y'all
upset.
tonight. Yeah. I'm just like, this is whack. So I'm out in the middle of downtown Brooklyn. And to this day, I couldn't tell you where that, I mean, obviously I was not oriented very well, but like, and I had like an epiphany. I'm just out walking in the middle of Brooklyn and I realized like, I've been drinking for 6 hours. I've been at happy hour for 6 hours and I'm no more happy now than I was before I got there, right?
Yeah.
And so I made it to this corner. I look across the street and it's this line of happy people. I mean, they are happy.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, pretty girls out there too, you know, but there's some dudes interspersed in there. I'm thinking, this is the line to the club.
Yeah,
it's to the club.
Gotta be.
It gotta be, right?
Yeah.
All these happy people, right?
Yeah.
So I find some friendly faces and hop right in with them. And I go, hey, and they like, hey, and I say, where are we about to go? And they like, we about to go right in here. So they walk me right into these double doors. I go, it's marble floor, it's lights. There's a guy at the desk, and there's some other doors, and it's dark on the inside. And there, I'm like, okay, this club
gonna be lit.
It's about to be fire. And look, what's this? Look, like a $20 charge. I got that. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them, right? And they were like, yeah, nah, this is church. And we just wanted to give you. They had out little tickets to give you directions back to the church from any place in New York City.
Oh wow!
And they were like, this is not the club. This is Brooklyn Tabernacle, and we want you to come back on Sunday.
Wow!
And I was like. I thought, I mean, y'all not about to. They were like, no, we were leaving youth night, and we saw that you should come to church. So they walked me right in.
Wow.
So I definitely stumbled in Brooklyn Tabernacle drunk, thinking it was a nightclub, and the Lord rescued me.
Yeah.
And so I started going to Brooklyn Tabernacle. I went, I went back.
Yeah.
Turns out they had a recovery program.
Wow.
Just like a Christian 12-step program called Celebrate Recovery.
Yeah.
And the leader of that ministry was a Vietnam veteran. And so they put me in contact with him. And he was the only guy that could like get my attention at the time. Like I needed another veteran, somebody I could respect, who like understood what I was going through.
For sure.
It was like you could sit down with anybody, particularly believers. They're so sincere in like their ability to listen.
Yeah.
But to like give you something to like do that's of value, like you need a little bit of experience.
100%.
And like I don't need you to be me per se, but at least have the knowledge of what I've gone through.
Yeah.
And him being a Vietnam vet, he was he had all of his theology stuff and his therapy stuff. So he was a clinical therapist as well. And he kept me in his hip pocket, man. Like Friday night.
That's amazing, man.
At Brooklyn Tabernacle, they had Celebrate Recovery. And so 4 years straight, I was there every Friday. I don't know what to do in New York City on a Friday night at all because I was always there.
Yeah.
And just kind of almost like be one, make one. We sit in a circle.
Yeah.
And we air it out. And it was an open group. So whatever your struggle was, right? I was going through rage fits, but I say this, man, when I got out, my PTSD like took the form. The best way I can characterize it is I had a pit bull, right? And that pit bull was peeing, biting, and humping on everything he could. You know what I'm saying? That was me.
Yeah.
Right? I was sabotaging life, man. I was using sex as Xanax, pornography, just you name it.
Yeah.
And then I was just angry all the time. And so being in that environment, man, you're sitting. I was it's open group, so I was there with alcoholics, drug addicts, homeless people, people with mental illness, court-appointed people who like you either go to this group and get better, or you're going to jail.
Right.
And what I learned there was you got to air it out.
Yeah.
It does you no good to sit in the circle and not talk.
Yeah.
Because there's a correlation between how open you can be and how much you're going to get healed.
Yeah.
So if you, like, your secrets will kill you.
Yeah.
And so I learned pretty early, man, like, just talk about it, bro. Like, and then you also observe, man, like, you think you have it's hard. And your cross is your cross. But, like, I'm going to tell you this, you don't want nobody else's cross. For sure.
Yeah.
And so after about 2 years, I became one of the facilitators as well. So it was good, you know. So it's like be one, make one. That's why I took to the environment, be one, make one so well.
That's crazy.
Because I had to go through that. And that's really, man, like, I got saved as a youth, man. But I had my own journey, but it was really when I got out of the Army and wandered into that church drunk that the Lord found me. Because that wasn't me going to church. Like, he was like, oh, yeah.
Stumbled your way into back into salvation, man. God's will. Yeah, man.
So, he drew me back. That's why Brooklyn always have a special place in my heart. Because he definitely changed me. So.
Yeah. Praise God, man. Well,
how's
listen,
that for 15 seconds?
Nah, I know, right? That was the longest 15 seconds of my... Nah, that was good, brother.
Nah, you had longer. Yeah, it's been longer.
You did a great job, bro.
Thanks,
and that's a powerful testimony, brother.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you for your transparency.
Absolutely,
And thank you for sharing that with us, bro. And
100%.
just thank God for your leadership, your brotherhood, man, because... like you said, I've heard it the long version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just appreciate you sharing that growth, man, because there's a lot of lessons that can be learned from there. Yeah. And also and I love that you said you don't want to pick nobody else's cross up.
No.
Right? But Christ says, pick up your cross and follow me. Mm-hmm. Right? So whatever you're going through, pick it up.
Yeah.
Follow him. Yeah. And he says, my burden is light. All right?
Come to me.
Come to me.
Woo.
Set it at his feet. Take on his.
Yeah.
It's still lighter than what you got. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to die to yourself and do what you got to do. So
have to.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, brother.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you sharing. And yeah, man. Thank you for going on this journey with me, brother.
Hey, it's an honor and a privilege, man. So iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron, brother.
Yeah. Now we can be salt, be light.
There it is. All right. We'll go ahead and close that out. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah. This is my boy Lloyd Briggery. Jordan Dollarson, man, we out.
Hey, before we go, Lloyd, could you give us an example of a rage fit?
So my brother off cam, he said, Lloyd, can you give us an example of a rage fit?
Yeah.
Don't mess up the equipment.
I'm not, man. I'm trying to pick the one out of many.
Oh, do the theater one, bro.
I figured you might.
Yeah.
You might like that one. So my girlfriend at the time and I were at the movies somewhere in Times Square, and it was a bad movie. It was a DC Comics movie, and it was bad. It was one of the worst comic book movies ever made. I'm not going to shout it out, but I think we know what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out Ryan Reynolds. Anyway,
oh my goodness.
It was still like, people were still going to the movies a lot back. This is pre-pandemic, right? But she and I were sitting right in the center, and it was one of the stadium seating ones. And there was a group of young people. I mean, I was young back then too, so we were all young, but they were definitely in their 20s. And it was 3 young men and 1 young lady. And they were chatty for the whole movie. And there was probably 30 other people like within the theater interspersed. Even though this movie was bad, it's still a movie, and it's AMC, and I'm paid to take this woman out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my popcorn and everything, right? And we're kind of cuddled up, whatever. And they talking, man. They are being disruptive to a already bad movie. Yeah. So, like, the disappointment is exponential at this point, right? And there comes a moment in this crap movie where the love interests decide to kiss. It's the moment in the movie where they've been dodging each other the whole film, and they're finally about to have their kiss. So it's really quiet, right? And it's all quiet. Everybody's watching. It's super quiet in the theater. And these knuckleheads start, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, you can, man, everybody in the theater was just like,
already annoyed.
Yeah, but they were just like, these kids, man, they've been at it.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, in her wisdom, from my lap, goes, "Can you please be quiet?"
Yep, there you go.
Right. It was quiet for about 2 seconds. And then a voice came from on high up there and said, "You shut up." Okay.
Now you activated.
Let me tell you what activation is, though. Activation, this is what it felt like. It felt like I shrank to this big, and now I was floating inside of myself. And through my eyes, I could see reality. And everything,
the sunken place.
Yeah, and everything was red.
Sheesh.
It was definitely the sunken place.
Yeah.
And it was like I was seeing what was happening, but I wasn't in charge. Like, I felt this big, and then something automatic happened, and all I could see was everything in red. And I remember, man, as a man, there's like words you can say that like we have to fight now.
Yeah,
like you've
for
said
sure.
things
For sure.
like just out of principle, like
Yeah.
I have to punch you.
Yep.
Right? Bro, I said things, man. Unrepeatable things.
Please don't repeat them.
No, but at some point, I was going, like, I'm going off in
Yeah.
the middle of the theater of this bad movie, 30 other people there.
Wow.
And I realized, like, at some point, like, oh, I'm the bad guy now.
Yeah.
You know? And I think
Wow.
I even said that. And I was like, and now people are mad at me
Yeah.
because of y'all.
Yeah.
You know, bro. And then that took me to a whole other, right? I'm going off. And I want all of the smoke.
Yeah.
And, you know, I must have closed off with something. Say something one more time, and I'm going to come up there and I'm going to whatever to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat back down. It was quiet the whole movie. Even the terrible after credit scene, it was quiet. But I realized after that, I came back to myself and I realized, like, I'm about to get jumped. Like,
Yeah.
I have written a check verbally. There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'm confident I can handle myself 1-on-1, maybe 2-on-1
Yeah.
if I'm mad enough, right?
Right.
I can't beat 4 people,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if the 4th is a woman. Like, it's just not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And we're in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, they're on the aisle. I remember because I was looking at them when I was screaming.
Already strategic.
And
with
I'm
it.
like, dang. Like, I know there's an exit that way, but the main exit's this way. So when we go, we going out that way, right? I'm like, but I grab her and I'm like, look, they were halfway down the aisle, you know, by the time we got up. So I just kind of grab her and put her behind me because I'm like, I'm a tanker. So
Yeah.
it's death before dismount. So we're not
Yeah.
getting off the tank because
Yeah.
I'm not running.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die tired.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, if
yeah.
you're going to get me, you're going to get me.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt in that moment. Like, this is it. You know,
Wow.
I ain't running. Like, I know
Yeah.
what I said. So I'm going to take it. And when I tell you they, like, looked at me and then, like, looked away and kept going. And, like, when they left, I was like, we got to go.
Yeah.
And I went out the other exit because I'm like, it could have been a little setup. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And we got out to the street, man, hit the subway, made it back to Brooklyn. And all I could think of was it was definitely the grace of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, I ain't going to be like, man, I scared them from. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's numbers, right? Like, I ain't
Yeah.
stupid. It was the grace of God that, like, prevented everything from happening.
Yeah.
But that rage fit, though, I mean, when people say they see red, I don't know what that is scientifically.
Yeah.
I know what I saw.
You've experienced it. Yeah.
And you're out of control.
Wow.
And in that moment, you're willing to hurt yourself to hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care what you do to me. I'm getting you, you
Yeah.
know? And that's ultimately self-destructive. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I mean,
Yeah.
again, that's the wildest one. There are a lot of others.
Yeah,
you know, we're
yeah,
not
yeah.
talking about when I tried to drive an old man off the road one time in Jersey, but you know what I'm saying?
my goodness.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was real though. Like
Yeah.
you know me, man, I'm open about it. But,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, for the pit bull thing,
Yeah.
what I had to learn was to train that dog. God has used what I went through for my good. I'm not saying that was a good thing that I went through. War is tough.
Yeah.
But God used it. And now I look at having a pit bull now as a gift. You have a pit bull.
Yeah.
You understand how this can be a good
100%.
thing, right? But now I've trained it,
Yeah.
right? And so anger is an emotion that the Lord gave us.
Right.
The answer when you have an anger problem isn't to get rid of anger. It's to learn how to manage
Use
your
it
anger.
and use it
right?
properly
And
when
use it
needed,
properly.
yeah.
Channel it, maybe to build a business or,
Yeah.
you know, do something creative.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I thank God for that experience.
Amen. And I thank God for your deliverance from that, brother. And again, thank you for sharing that experience. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yep, that's the BESALT Podcast. Thank
Like
you
I
for
never
tuning in.
left. I'm right back. BESALT, left side of my chest. Need some flicks caught. You get that?